All right, guys, so we took off the old rotor and the old caliper carrier, and I just was test fitting the wheel, and we had to remove all of the studs. I love that the guy that I bought this from, he replaced all the wheel bearings, the wheel hubs, and he replaced them with ones that had studs in them, because usually when you're putting on a wheel, you want to have studs. It's way easier to do, right? Well, in this case, if we're going the kind of more economical way of doing the five lug conversion, and I already have new wheel hubs, I'm not going to swap the hubs over and axles and do everything, because it's just so much more money, and I already have new parts, so why would I do that, right? It's just kind of silly. So these are our CNC parts, and they're really high quality, and I've read a lot of reviews on these. They're not cheap. This was like almost $500 just for 4 of these adapters, and they're hub centric as well, so there's no movement at all. There's already hub centric rings on this because he was running some different wheels, but either way, these discs are gone. It's not really much of a lip here, but they're really rusted and toast. So I got these new EBC rotors on here. I love that they're the black coated ones, and they're powder coated and everything like that. So, and they're ventilated in the front. Since we have the ventilated front ducts, I could also do the ducting to the back. They have like those tubes that come here. I might do that, I'm not sure yet, but come here, Lupin. So I had to just test fit everything before I started filming to make sure I had all the right parts. And let me just show you, these brake pads were toasted and rotted. I don't know if you guys can see that on camera or not, but so I had to remove all the studs, and these were actually they were not press fit, which I should have realized initially, but they're just screwed in studs. So, since I don't have the specific tool for this, what you actually can do, what's maybe, I don't know, what's intended, I guess, is the bolt extractor, the nut extractor or bolt extractor kit, is putting these on there, hammering it down, and you can see kind of what it does. Hammer it down like this, and then you'll lefty-loosey pull these out. If they were like red thread locker in there, you'll have to use heat to get them out, but it's not that bad. After I realized that I actually did have the tools for them, it wasn't horrible. So anyway, the new rotors are on here, and the reason why I had to pull the studs is because these come with these kind of Allen bolts, and I'm gonna have to retrace some of these threads because I messed up a couple of them, just a couple of the leading threads. But once you put these in here, now you have a 5 lug setup. This is a 18 mil spacer to fit the size of the studs. But now I have a 5 lug setup that all clears everything. And I test fit it on my Style 32 BMW wheels, so everything looks good. I'm gonna blue thread locker these into here once I kind of clean those up. But let's get the caliper carrier on there and the brake caliper with all new parts, since I have the new brake pads and obviously the new rotor. So let's do that. Lupin. What are you doing out there, crazy? Been retorqued in their life, I'm sure, on the pistons, and they look great. So there's just 2 bolts that hold this on to the back of the knuckle. It's pretty straightforward for most cars. This usually needs a little brake juice, grease. Yeah, that definitely needs some love there. That will cause some squeakiness. So let's see what we can do here. Also need to put some on the backs of the pads. Oh, I have the best kind of brake grease for that pack of hardware that I got, or the brake pads that I got new rubber guys and the new bolts that go on the end. So we're gonna pull these out. Pull all this out. And this little rubber guy. Boop. Same with this. Dry rotted in there, you can see this all just came apart. So we're gonna really need to clean this real good. And then we'll re-grease it up and put the brake lube on it. This actually has a little collar, it looks like. Refit that rubber guy around there. This one does not want to come out. It's just pressed in, there's nothing that holds it other than just the grease, it's just friction. I don't know if anybody's ever replaced this. What is she doing? Bro, this is duckums. Wow, yeah, it's really old grease, there's nothing left. Little holes, and that's where these bolts go into. That's for the back of the caliper. We have new bolts for those too. So we'll put thread locker on that and we will make sure that's all greased up. So let me grab some of that. But this should be more than fine. So after we really get this on everything. So since this is already kind of greased up a little bit, it slid on without any problems. Just popped it right in here. And then we bring our caliper back over. So we're gonna have to clean this a little bit and push this guy back in. But this boot looks really good. You can see, you can't really push it in. So I'm gonna have to think of either using a clamp or like a crowbar or something. So first I'm gonna open up the brake fluid to let the brake fluid flow. So I'm gonna be pushing brake fluid back to the system. When you re-depress the caliper, you're gonna have to go with the crowbar method. Oh, just enough. This way, but let's try. Okay. Yeah, I guess it is long enough. Okay. So, I mean, there's so many tools for caliper, different caliper pistons. I have different ones for the rear, for the front, for different models, for different sub-models. Sometimes when you do that, you'll overflow your brake fluid a little bit because if it's at the proper level, you're just pushing too much out of the system because you have none to your caliper. So now we're gonna take these guys, pop these guys here, boom, boom, just like that. This is like the easiest brake install because these just clip right here. They just sit there like that. And these tiny little slots. And you'll see that it kind of just sits in place right where the rotor is. Just like that. Grease this baby up. This might not actually be hitting that surface as much as the back. So I'll untangle this. And this should fit in here nicely. On it. So I have to put the bolts in here first and hold it in. So these actually already have some red, a little old, so thread locker on it. So this will be easy. And then what I'll do is whatever is not touching the ceiling surface, I'll wipe this so it doesn't collect any dust or debris. And we know that what's holding there is got the good stuff on it, just like that. All right, let's finish this side up. So, next thing is we have to, okay. So since I don't have the right tab, we're just gonna put these in I don't think it's gonna be too big of a deal. And we're just gonna rethread a couple of them. We're just gonna go slow, because I banged a couple of the threads and it's not a big deal. So next we'll just center up. And this is what's going to hold our adapter on. Smooth. So I'm just going to complete this one side, because the rest, as you can see, is very straightforward. Yeah, right here. You can see I'm hitting a little bit crunchiness. It's easy though. I'm using the 8s, so you'll know it doesn't go very far. Get to still maintain the fact that we have studs, so it's easy to put the wheels on. And these are clean. We'll put some anti-seize on these if we want. I mean, it's not going to be a big deal. We're in Arizona. This is a clean mating surface. These hubs are brand new. We won't ever have to take this knuckle apart unless we put coilovers on, which is easy. This won't have to be reassembled. All this is brand new. Pads, rotor, calipers repainted, and nicked it up a little bit here because I was trying to put that C-clamp on, but it's at least coated, painted, clear coated, and we're all set.
It's gonna be a minute till I'm back. Let me get your images that last. Amex had a limit in the past. I had plenty women in the past. I done plenty sinning in the past. Y'all don't need to know, but you can ask. Sticking on your backstage pass, all access, cause you bad. You could go wherever with that ass. Show to the shower, to the truck to the club for the party. You go in first with your girls, cause I don't know who's out there watching. But I do know one thing, yo. Women, they come, they go. Saturday through Sunday, Monday, Sunday, yo. Maybe I'll love you one day. Maybe we'll someday grow. Till then, I'll sit my drunk ass on that runway, on this one way.
2:30, baby, won't you meet me by the beach? Early, maybe later, you can show me things. You know what it is whenever I visit. Windy City, she blowing me kisses, no. 30 degrees, way too cold, so hold me tight. Will I see you at the show tonight? Will I see you at the show tonight?
All right, just gonna show a little bit of this, but I already did the side. The rears are not too different from the fronts. These bolts in the back are a little bit hard to get out, but you just have the spring clip here. I'll replace this. I think it's a one-time use probably anyway, but pop that guy out. I already sprayed this with penetrant. I'll get this side done. This is how's it going? So we're just gonna pull these two guide pins out. It's pretty straightforward. Let's see what this looks like. We'll grease this guy back up. But apparently what's super rare on this car, maybe this is why I should never sell this, is it has the reinforced rear sway bar like locking points or mounting points. Also on a manual car. Brake pads on the rears like rarely ever get used, so that's if you're downshifting and decelerating appropriately. So these are like almost brand new, but we're still gonna swap these out because these are old and a little bit rusted up, and we'll go ahead and push this piston back in. We'll socket with the air gun, get these two bolts off because it wasn't gonna happen. So now we're good to pull this guy. Make sure your e-brake is not pulled. These shoes are actually in great shape. The other ones are all chewed up. Oh wait. No, these are also chewed up. See, this side's good, and this side, half of it is there. Same with the other side. Only half was there. Come on, last. Wait. Done. Easy. I shouldn't need these air tools anymore. Alright. So let's just do a quick wipe down here. Not sure, this might be for a couple different models that there was two set screws. Get your tool stuck in there. Alright. Can be broken with hand tools, or this doesn't need to be, you don't need heat. This is what leaking anything. The car feels good when you're driving it. It's hard to tell though because there's no power steering, so it just kind of feels not great when you're on the road. There we go. Lubricant, our ceramic brake lubricant in. We'll put it right on our couple prongs there. There you go. Boom. Easy peasy. And this is nice because it has little spots for it to hook onto. I bought the brake pad wear sensors, but I might not use them. They might be tied up somewhere in this car already. Like they might already be like just bridged. There's no warning or whatever. Obviously I don't need that, but nice to have if somebody wants to keep the car like, you know, modified, but keep its old OEM kind of feel and look. I personally would never cut cables or like bridge anything like that. I just kind of shoddy, but each their own. We can also include them if we sell the car. It's kind of nice to have, though. It's like when you sell someone something and you just have extra parts to give them. It's a good feeling, you know? You're like, dang, this guy really did take care of everything. And the stuff that he didn't do, he has extra parts. You know, it's kind of nice. First, I'm going to bend these out a little bit so it makes it a little easier for me. Let's see if I can do this without totally destroying my paint job. First try. Boom. So now, I can't even move it. Essentially, it just puts tension between the carrier and the caliper. So, big boy on here. I'm gonna off-center our two hex bolts with kind of the opposite side of where the bolt is for the caliper, or for the rotor. So we're gonna do it like this. And again, you'll feel, when you get here, you'll feel them bottom out. But you're like, oh yeah, am I good? Yes, you probably will be fine. Probably won't ever have issues with this. But we want to make sure we do it to the factory spec, to what the manufacturer says. So we want to do these to 90 foot-pounds. So I don't have anybody to hold the brake down or pull the e-brake or whatever. So we're going to do it like this. Put reverse torque on it from righty-tighty. So we're going to go ahead and just wedge this in between. And you can see, this is 90 foot-pounds. Oh, that's 90. It's rough. So you want to make sure this is done right. And the Loctite just helps for a little extra added security. Okay. Get it in there. And again, well, you always want to double check, so do it with one hand. 90 foot-pounds on one hand. Okay. And you're done. So this is the rear. As I'm out of breath. It's exactly the same on the other side. Really, it's the same on the fronts too. Just a tiny little caliper. Single piston on the back for each side. Single piston on the front for each side. This car's slow. It doesn't really need more than that. The fronts are just a little bit bigger. Again, we have everything kind of set up and good to go. Let's put the wheels on, air them up, and clean up. I guess that's it.
Every second, every minute, man, I swear that she can get it. Say if you a bad bitch, put your hands up high, hands up high, hands up high. Till I put the lights down right now, put me in the mood. I'm talking about dark perfume. Go.
I recognize your fragrance. Hold up, you ain't never gotta say shit. And I know your taste is a little bit high maintenance. Everybody else basic. You live life on an everyday basis with poetic justice. Poetic justice. If I told you that a flower bloomed in a dark room, would you trust it? I mean, I write poems in these songs dedicated to you. When you're in the mood for empathy, is blood in my pen. Better yet, for your friends and them. I really wanna know you all. I really wanna.
My back is dead. All is good, friends? Everybody happy? Everybody good? I was reading about somebody who ran 17 by 9.5 or 17 by 9 in the back. Oh gosh, I'm so nervous. All right, you guys gotta see this with me. Let's drop it. Here we go. Obviously the suspension's got to sell a little bit. Wow, rears are spot on. Oh, the fronts almost. The fronts have a bit of poke, a little more than I would expect. I can't really tell how that really looks, but let's put the hood down, let's see. Wow, the rears are literally perfect. I can't really tell, so the fronts, I think I just need to adjust the camera a little bit.
I said, skirt, skirt, all niggas, skirt up, all niggas, skirt down, you acting like me, acting like we wasn't more than a summer fling. I said farewell, you took it well, promise I won't.